I didn't care about so much of the outcome of the coffee. I was setting myself up more so for the mood that I was trying to create. Whole logic, the whole thing that I was going for is that I was basing my decisions off feel. I wanted something more violent, I guess, something more intoxicating. Best one for me was Mr. Coffee Machine. I wanted to challenge myself this time to brew coffee with emotions. We live right now. We're doing pretty good right now. The topic of the day is brewing with emotions. Okay, what am I talking about here? I just did a little series. It's gonna be one video, but I did a series during the week. It was about brewing with emotions, meaning that I'm not. It's not based off science. Well, it kind of is. We'll get there. But here's the thing. A lot of times when we brew coffee, especially geeks like me, and I'm sure you're probably the same way, is that we measure, we analyze, we measure. I mean, we do everything. We try to think about coffee in a way to where it's replicable, if that makes sense, or if it's repeatable, yeah, that's even better. And the reason why we do those recipes is because one, we're trying to replicate the awesomeness of that coffee at that time. And we can do that. We can totally do that. That's not what I'm talking about here. But I guess that's the one reason why I have recipes. That I'm sure that's the reasons why people have recipes in general, especially when it comes to cooking and food and everything. Because if we follow a recipe, we are trying to see if we can actually, since you are hopefully enjoying the video, if you like, subscribe, repeat that same thing with the similar same ingredients that recipe calls for. If there's alterations with it, that's perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, we're using our palate to enjoy and to love the thing that we're doing. I talked about this many months ago. Guides over recipes, right? And that's more so the situation that we're in right now. And I wanted to challenge myself this time to brew coffee with emotions, even though it was science based, because that's the way I've always roasted coffee. So I picked different emotions that I was going for the day and what I wanted this coffee to perhaps provoke in me. And what I gathered is that it was, to me, it was very successful, meaning that I didn't care about so much of the outcome of the coffee. I was setting myself up more so for the mood that I was trying to create. And as I was doing that, it got really cool because I didn't measure anything either. I kind of measured a little bit. I kind of eyeballed it, but I brewed the coffees in a way to where I used science, my background, the way that I've roasted or brewed the coffee. And I used that type of logic, even though I wasn't measuring everything to a T. For instance, I'm using my hand grinder quite a bit. The Kin grinder, I think it's the K2 that I'm using for pour overs, and I have the K6 for uh, espresso. So I know that basket on a medium grind, I can probably get about 22 to 25 grams of coffee. And depending on the situation, I went ahead and did like 2 cupfuls. And I know that's going to be closer to 50 grams of coffee. And then I just eyeballed the water and all that stuff. And that's the way I brewed the coffee. I knew for the most part that it's going to be in the ballpark of what I was trying to look for in a cup of coffee. I didn't know if it was a 15-to-1. Certain coffees were even stronger than that. But it didn't matter. The whole logic, the whole thing that I was going for is that I was basing my decisions off feel, off what I wanted that coffee to do or do for me. It could be so many different ways. It could be more so like I'm using this coffee to set the mood of how I'm going to actually do my things for the day, how I was going to operate within the day. And then there's other times to where I want this coffee to make me feel this way. There wasn't really any type of actual like real guidance. I just knew that I didn't want to measure anything. That was part of the game plan. And as I did that, it didn't feel weird as I kept drinking the coffees and enjoying them and then seeing what it actually created for me. Did I get all those emotions that I was trying to go for? Probably not, not really. But the thing is that it gave me a different sense of being, of like ability to be like, this is what I want from this thing. And I've never really done something kind of like that. It's like, okay, I mean, I have, trust me, but I guess deliberately trying to make a coffee talk to me in a way to where it made me, I guess, emotional. I guess what I'm saying here is that we can make coffee do the things that we want to do. We can express ourselves in a way to where we are understanding a lot more as we gather our thoughts, think about the things that we're trying to do, and then move on with our days. And I think what it also did for me was it allowed me to not be mad about the situation, not beat up on the coffee, not even be mad about the way I was brewing these coffees. And it was a big breath of fresh air because I'm very hard on myself. I'm like, okay, how did I mess this up? What did I do wrong in this whole experiment that didn't give me the outcome that I was looking for? And as I dropped those preconceived notions and those expectations that I was thinking that I was going to get out of these coffees, it was freeing. It was nice. It was something that I can look forward to. I don't know how I'm going to incorporate it more as I live my life, but it could be at least once or twice a week where I just don't measure anything. I just go and feel and care and curiosity and just things like that. So I did use the same coffee. It was a Brazilian. It was a unique Brazilian. The smell was intoxicating. It truly, really was. Most Brazilian coffees are really good. They're more chocolatey forward and nutty forward. But this one in particular was red fruit forward. So that's all you would smell, like the strawberries and all that good stuff. It was quite amazing. However, in the actual cup, you never really get that. And in this case, 3 out of the 4 coffees I got on the taste a lemony type of acidity type of fruit. And they had different degrees of variations of them. And it was really cool because it was really something that I can truly really like and enjoy and understand and take it for what it was. I know the first cup that I did, it was a French press. The French press was, I wanted something more violent, I guess, something more intoxicating. And to me, a lot of times when you drink a French press, you don't really get that. You just get more so like a full body type of taste of coffee. So the flavors are not as pronounced as they should be, right? With that particular type of device. But this time, since I wanted something a little bit more electric and vibrant and like violent, I stirred the shit out of that French press. I probably over extracted it, but it didn't really taste that way. I don't even think I took a TDS of it or whatnot. And it was quite refreshing, but it had more so like a lemony type of taste to it. And it wasn't bitter, but it was there. It was more pronounced than what I'm used to doing with this particular cup of coffee. Okay. All right, cool. We got time. We got a little bit of time. That's the hard things about doing this stuff during the day because it's people are living, moving, doing their thing. So I like to do these early in the morning, but I did. So So it was a really good experience. It was an experience that I really enjoyed. And the French press, like I said, it kind of did something different. It kind of felt different to me. So then the next one I did was, I believe it was AeroPress. I think it was AeroPress. Excuse me. And I kind of just went with more of a mellow type of feel. So I didn't stir the crap out of that one. And it gave me kind of a different type of taste to the coffee. But did it set the mood? I think it did, you know? And I think that's the beauty of all this. It's just the way it allows you to be in that moment, in that mood, and just to enjoy yourself. The other one, I think the best one for me was Mr. Coffee Machine. I think I brewed it kind of strong, but I guess it needed it for the Mr. Coffee Machine. And it was juicy. It was so juicy. It was so vibrant. And the type of fruit forward on it was the exact same. I mean, it was the exact same as it was when you smell it. So it was like a red fruit forward type of taste. It really came through. And the last one, which was today, was the percolator. And the percolator, it took about 17, 18 minutes that I did it. I actually have a little bit left right now. And it was a nice, subtle, very approachable lemon acidity. And let's drink some of it right now. This is it right here. This is cold or room temp, probably about 74 degrees. I would say it's a little bit more vibrant. I think it's probably on the stretch of being a little too bitter, the way the coffee is. So probably slightly over extracted it. It tasted less violent, less critical in the mouth, I guess, if that makes sense. But this is cold. This is the way that I tend to get coffees to be drank, but I eventually get there. So I would say if you're going to do like a percolator, of course, drink it hotter than this. I mean, that's why we drink coffee, right? It's not cold brew. But yeah, it's still tasty, still good. Like I said, the bitterness is still there. It's not as crazy bitterness, but it's still there. But that was the coffees. And I really did enjoy it. I really did enjoy the experiment. How does this help you? I guess this helps you in a way to where it gives you the ability or the curiosity or the reason to explore more, to understand that you are who you are, and it's okay to change things up from time to time. So that's what I've been doing. I hope that you are able to feel that you can do that too. And we're just going to keep it pushing. We're going to understand each other even more so. And our goals and our logics with all these videos, with all these logics, with all the stuff that we're doing is that we're just trying to grow together. So that's the way I look at it. That's the way I see it. And I hope that you are doing great. All right. So till next time, talk to you later. Bye.